If you actually want to learn something about a coyote, there's one reality you have to accept first. No matter how much you learn, no matter how hard you try, you will always be the student, and he will forever be the teacher. It don't work the other way around. At the end of the day, his decision is the one giving the lesson, not yours. The moment you forget that and think you got him figured out, they will bring you to your knees and make you wonder why you ever decided to hunt coyotes. When it all comes together.
Hey, hit him!
Good stuff, man.
That was good.
Thank you, Foxpro.
Yes, sir.
Over the years, I've come to the conclusion there's really only two ways to respond to advancement in technology. You can either accept it and grow with the sport, evolving with it, or you can reject it and get left behind. That's one of the reasons Foxpros earn their name as a true innovator in the game call industry. They never get complacent with their latest product. They're always building something new. Because they know the moment they do, another call maker will eventually come along and pass them. It's just like any other industry. Competition is what raises the level of others, driving the sport forward. This ain't the 90s no more, and staying current with the latest tricks of the trade is what'll keep fur in the back of your truck. In a way, today for me was a little bit like the changing of the guard, swapping out the old CS24 remote for the new X-Wave. She was a workhorse, and there's no telling how many coyotes and cats have died from that thing. But it was time for her to get retired to backup duty and move on. I'm a firm believer in evolving with the times, and for us, that's what makes Foxpro such a good fit. It always seems like they have something new to offer to guys like us, and so far, all their new X-Series line of calls are making great improvements to guys' numbers across the country. I've always said you can't argue with success, and if this new two-speaker monster is as badass as I think it is right out the box, them suckers are in trouble.
Man, we haven't called this in forever.
I know it. Ought to be some down in there.
It's probably been, what, 10 years?
Yeah, probably. It's always been a really good spot in the past.
Yeah. I'll tell you what, I'm liking those 2 speakers. It's nice being because they could come from there, we could come from there.
Oh, it's pretty cool.
I got a speaker pointed both ways.
You can broadcast it both ways.
Yeah. You ready?
We can do it to it.
In this game, sound is everything, and having the ability to direct it in more than one direction at a time is a huge advantage. More times than not, you'll have animals show up in the direction your speaker is pointed anyway, so as far as I'm concerned, having 2 will at least double your odds one will hear it. One aspect I truly feel gets overlooked in this sport is the relation wind or lack thereof plays a direct role in sound dispersion. Wind, by itself, is a supreme dictator of how far your sound travels. They can hear way better than you think, so that doesn't mean blast it on volume 40 24/7. You just need to make sure they can at least hear it in the area you're trying to call. And as a general rule, just remember your sound will travel twice as far or even more to the downwind than it ever will to the upwind where you really want it to go. So always factor that in when you go to pick a direction to point your speaker for sound travel. That's why I love this call. You got 2. I think a lot of times guys will have coyotes show up downwind and automatically assume that's because they were going for it, when in reality it was simply because they could hear it further that direction. I'm honestly surprised I've never heard anyone else point that out. Find out what happens after the break.
Game over, buddy.
Heck yeah. That's how it's supposed to work right there.
Son.
All supposed to act like that. Golly.
Down goes Frazier.
Yes, sir.
Good hairy one.
Getting fired up, man. It's starting to get cool. Nail. That's fun.
I tell you what, that's the way I like them to come in.
I know it.
I'd much rather have them just walking real slow.
Sometimes whenever they're in a beeline, it's hard.
Man, it's hard to stop them sometimes. What do you think about the
I like
X-Wave,
it,
man?
I like it just because it gives you options to point them speakers in 2 different directions.
Yeah, I never really thought it made that much difference, but at the same time, we're always taking our old CS24 and like we'll pick it up at night and just point it that way, and then we'll point it that way.
Sometimes I even have to hold it, kind of.
Yeah, kind of broadcast the sound a little.
Broadcast it, but
Well, fooled him. Anybody that wonders if Foxpro's got good sounds, just look at their library. Not that you'd ever use them. There's over 600 sounds on this call.
oh really?
Yeah. I don't think you need that many. If you need that many, you got a problem, but
It's nice to have them at your disposal, though.
there's nobody out there that has a bigger sound library than what they've got. Kill him.
For this to be our first taker with the new call, we were pumped. It didn't take long to have a big North Texas coyote right in our lap, just like we like it.
Good stuff, man.
That was good.
Let's put that feller in the back of the truck. Thank you, Foxpro.
Yes, sir.
I could tell from the get-go the new X-Wave had some serious potential, but we had no clue of what kind of crazy action lied ahead in the near future. And when I say future, I'm talking about the next few hours. It was nuts. They were coming from everywhere. If you hunt coyotes long enough, you're gonna get schooled plenty of times along the way. There's gonna be plenty of misses, probably more coyotes downwind than you can shake a stick at, and a truckload of hard lessons to shape you into a better killer. And we're no exception to all of those things. In fact, if you think just killing coyotes isn't hard enough, try throwing a camera into the mix and then you'll really understand the word complicated. Missing coyotes is simply part of hunting coyotes, so you better just accept it as part of learning to help you make corrections for down the road. And don't kid yourself if you act like you or someone else you may know never shanks one, because trust me, everyone throws an airball every now and then. They aren't being honest with themselves or anyone else if they act otherwise.
Hey, hey!
We're not going to name any names on that one, but to this day, Matt Charsky still beats himself up over that one. Sorry, Matt. I wanted to show you guys some of these to show you we're not perfect and still botch them up like everyone else. Watch how close this one came to meeting his maker. Ooh, that was close.
Coming around me. Kill him.
This one was a bit of a hard pill to swallow for one night crew team member. And again, I'm not naming any names here, but I had to give night crew team member Ronnie O'Neill a counseling session for a few days after that shot. I mean, I felt like Dr. Phil for 2 days after that. If you follow the show for any length of time, you'll know we like getting them close for our fans. Because honestly, it just makes better TV. But sometimes a coyote just decides to act like a coyote and draws a line in the sand for whatever reason. Like he knows something's up, but just in limbo, sorta. This usually happens about 1 out of every 10 coyotes we get to respond in our area. The other 9 will either come in like we want them, or leave the moment we hit them with our light because they've seen it before. And trust me when I say, if you do this enough, you'll know immediately once you find a smart one if you're shining. Because they won't hang around long enough to let you know. Usually when we have a standoff with one, we'll just wait them out and see what happens. It's not hard to know when they're about to bolt if you just watch them. Pay real close attention to the nervous step this one makes just before we bust him. Right now, he's just processing the situation. Once you've had enough coyotes in front of you, it'll become easier to read them to know what they're about to do. Just stay hooked and try to work them into the best killable position. He just told us he's about to leave, so time is up. Sometimes it's just simply the dang wind's fault. When it comes to a preferable wind, believe it or not, I personally prefer a 25-mile-an-hour gust over light and variable. The reason being, at least it's consistent enough in one direction to make accurate decisions when setting up stands. If it flip-flops every direction over a 15 to 20 minute period, you can just about forget getting a coyote close unless you're really lucky. Even if it happens to be in your face when one actually shows up, if it ever went his direction at any time during that stand, your scent still drifted his way for however long and however far it blew that way. So just because it may be in your face when he gets there, don't mean some of your smell is actually upwind in places he could still catch it. And that's exactly what happened here. That's why we try only hunting on nights when the forecast is showing 5 to 10 minimum to avoid situations out of our control like this. So take note of every direction it shifts on stands during nights like this, just in case one is headed that way, even if it's in your face at the time. Well, so far, the X-Wave has proven itself to be a killer already, but I wanted to break it in a little bit more with old Gary. He told me he could hear a difference in the sound quality right off the bat. It's just a solid new Foxpro with as good or better sound as any caller out there. So if you're in the market to try a different call maker, or you're already a Foxpro guy like me and just wanting to upgrade to the latest unit, you gotta check the X Series out. You won't regret it.
Yes.
I'll tell you what, I like this X-Wave, man. This thing's really, really easy to use. It's got a lot of real cool features. My CS24, I'm kind of partial to my CS24, but I'll tell you what, this thing is kind of making me think I might have just found me a new call.
I think so.
Sounds good.
It does. It does sound real good.
This week was one rodeo of excitement with some of the best filming action we've ever had as a team. And I'll be honest, it was pretty cool we did it with a new call, which solidifies it as a product that legitimately works not only physically, but mentally as well. For me, it's all about the confidence, and trusting something new is gonna beat what I already have. And in this case, the X-Wave not only beat it freaking knocked it out of the park.
We'll tell you what, that's how to break in a Foxpro right there, Gary.
And if you thought what we did with it this week is awesome, just wait till you see what we did with it later. Like I said, you can't argue with success.